You're watching News Channel 5, the first station in South Florida broadcasting local news in high definition.
As oil prices hit record highs, entrepreneurs are looking for new ways to feed America's energy needs.
Well, Treasure Coast Bureau Chief Brian Garner visited a farm in Fellsmere that's growing what may become the next big biofuel.
He joins us live from the Stewart News with a closer look tonight. Brian.
Jim, you know the big knock on biofuels like ethanol is that they use up so many of our crops, they push up the price of food. Well, we came across a company that's using something entirely different to make fuel, something you might find in ponds or rivers or even your bathroom.
You know, it's kind of a green goo.
Fred Tennant says this unlikely mix could hold the answer to America's energy problems.
But it's all organic.
Microalgae, not unlike the stuff that would grow on the side of a swimming pool.
Or in your toilet if you really, don't clean it or whatever.
That's what Tennant is growing on this farm in Fellsmere. He calls it America's oil farm.
Arizona State developed an algae that's very high oil content and grows very, very fast.
It all starts in the lab, where bits of algae fed with carbon dioxide grow dark green.
To make ethanol out of corn or biodiesel out of soybeans, it takes a full year to grow a crop. But Tennant says with algae, he can go from seed to harvest in just 2 days.
They just put fresh water in here.
The algae goes into a bioreactor, bubbling water-filled tubes that give the crop plenty of sunlight.
This gives the maximum growth in the quickest amount of time.
Technicians drain the water and run the algae through a high-speed centrifuge to break it down. What's left? This powdery meal, which can become animal feed, and this, black gold.
It's like crude oil. This is in the crude stage.
When we came across Fred Tennant, we just were amazed at the type of technology that he was producing and the potential that it had.
Then I asked what Tennant calls the $100 billion question. Can his company produce algae diesel just as cheaply as regular diesel fuel?
And the answer is yes. I mean, we can't be successful if we're not competitive.
Now, Tennant's company, PetroAlgae, plans to take its product public next year, but don't expect to see this at the pumps at your local gas station. He says he plans to build these algae farms next to power plants. The algae would fuel the power plants, and in turn, the emissions from those power plants, carbon dioxide, would feed the algae. To learn more about it, check out our website, WPTV.com. Reporting live from the Stewart News, Brian Garner, News Channel 5.